bubbling up from deep within the earth, they are nature's enigma. Lumps of carbon transformed over billions of years of intense pressure and heat into priceless treasure.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend. They're so beautiful.
Diamonds have always captivated humankind. We marvel at the stars shining in diamonds, borrowed from the world's most exclusive jewelers. And every day, miners filter through tons of ore, hoping to hit the jackpot.
The thrill of finding a diamond, even a small one, is really something fantastic.
Every diamond sparkles, but only a select few become the stuff of legends. These are the diamonds men have killed and died for. Passed through the centuries, from sultans to swindlers. They've sparked curses and crowned queens, inspired great love affairs and daring thefts. These famous diamonds seem to have a life of their own. Here are their stories. The fascination with diamonds spans the globe, from South Africa's mines to the sorting rooms of London.
Diamonds they're like great Beethoven symphonies, even better. They go on forever. They're classic.
The word diamond comes from the Greek, adamas, indestructible. Older than the dinosaurs and harder than any material on Earth, diamonds are prized for their toughness, their ability to withstand intense heat, and the mysterious light they emit.
It sparkles, it fires the imagination, it reflects the light. People say you see your soul in it.
Consider the case of the notorious Hope, one of the largest blue diamonds in the world. While most diamonds are white, nature occasionally produces them in a rainbow of colors, their deep hue making them rare and coveted. Since its discovery in the 1600s, the Hope has crossed oceans and continents, been stolen and recovered. But that's not what made this 46-carat gemstone so famous.
The Hope is a remarkable diamond. There is said to be a curse, and it certainly has brought a lot of bad luck.
Curses are like the curse of the mummy. You know, if you believe in them, they may happen, or circumstance around them will permit you. Personally, I don't believe in curses.
But the legacy of bad luck surrounding this stone is hard to ignore. In 1921, it inspired the serial film The Hope Diamond Mystery. The first episode shows the dastardly deed that supposedly set the curse in motion. A thief steals the diamond from a Hindu statue, unleashing the wrath of the gods. Maybe that's how it all started, maybe not. But this extraordinary diamond has more than earned its ill-fated reputation. During the 17th century, diamond merchant Jean-Baptiste Tavernier acquired the Hope in India and brought it to France.
At some stage, he'd come across a Hope and presented to Louis XIV. Louis XIV had so many diamonds in his tunics, I think he would have sunk like a lead balloon, probably, if he put in the sea.
While King Louis didn't drown, he did eventually contract gangrene and suffered a long and painful death. Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI inherited the beautiful blue diamond next, but didn't have much time to enjoy it. They both lost their heads at the guillotine during the French Revolution.
I think that's one of the tragic fates one could meet. Whether the diamond was the cause of it, I'll leave it to the imagination.
In 1792, the diamond was stolen from France. It resurfaced 20 years later in London, where a wealthy banker bought it and gave it his name.
Some historians even say precisely in 1830, Henry Hope came into possession of this particular diamond, and I think that name stuck to this diamond.
Not even diamonds can buy love, and sadly, Hope died a lonely bachelor. The killer diamond eventually found its way around the neck of his great niece, who often wore the Hope on stage. Despite the charm, perhaps because of it, her career and love life ended in shambles. The Hope's next few owners fared no better. The diamond left a trail of misfortune in its wake before it cast its dark cloud over American shores. Washington socialite Evelyn Walsh McLean was offered the Hope by the jeweler Cartier in 1911. Some say Cartier actually invented the legend of the curse to entice the daredevil aristocrat to buy it. Whatever the story's origins, it worked. But just to be on the safe side, Mrs. McLean had her new bauble blessed by a priest.
She was a little bit of an eccentric lady. She entertained lavishly in America. And she used to take the Hope diamond off her necklace and at parties would throw it up in the air and her dog would retrieve them, which is quite wild.
But the party didn't last forever. The son of the wealthy heiress was killed in an automobile accident. Her husband was committed to a mental hospital. And her daughter died from an overdose of sleeping pills.
She had a lot of personal tragedies, although she didn't ascribe them to the Hope. She said the Hope was lucky for her. Extraordinary thing to say in view of these tragedies.
After Mrs. McLean died of pneumonia at the age of 60, her estate decided to sell the ill-fated diamond. But who would dare risk the curse? A New York jeweler with an eye for fabulous gemstones and a flair for public relations rose to the Hope's challenge. Of the 300 most famous diamonds in the world, Harry Winston had already bought and sold 60. His name was famous, but because of the treasures he handled, his insurers never allowed his face to be photographed. Ronald Winston, like his father before him, must also protect his identity.
I remember hearing on the radio that he bought the Hope diamond and some other jewels for $1 million, which of course as a little boy was a number beyond the dreams of avarice.
The fabulous collection of the late Evelyn Walsh McLean, including the famous Hope diamond and the...
Harry Winston's purchase of the Hope in 1949 only served to cement his reputation as the king of diamonds. And then in 1958, Winston decided to give the Hope to the American people permanently. He chose an unusual method of delivery, one with a touch of Winston drama.
Are the fabulous blue-white Hope diamond.
He did something he'd never do today. He mailed it. He sent it by ordinary post to the Smithsonian from his office.
What tales they tell of the Hope. A history of 300 years of murder, death, bad luck. A curse on whoever owned it, says the legend. Its first owner assassinated.
Not everyone was thrilled with the gift, but today it remains in a bulletproof case at the Smithsonian. As far as we know, none of the tourists have been visited by the curse. There have always been mysterious powers attributed to diamonds. Over the centuries, people have believed that diamonds could ward off devils, calm the mentally ill, and provide the wearer with extra strength on the battlefield and in the bedroom. It was in the 15th century that the diamond came to symbolize the power of love.
The Emperor Maximilian of Austria married the Princess Mary of Burgundy and gave her a diamond engagement ring, and the diamond has served as a symbol of weddings for all those centuries.
If only they could ensure everlasting love. That certainly was the hope of Count Grigory Orlov, who bought this magnificent stone for his secret lover, Catherine the Great, ruler of the Russian Empire. Displayed at the Kremlin in Moscow, the 190-carat Orlov is set in the royal scepter. It remains the centerpiece of the Russian crown jewels. The Count helped plan the coup that placed Catherine on the Russian throne in 1762. But the Empress was a restless soul with a roaming eye. When she turned her powerful gaze towards other men, Orlov devised a plan to win her back.
Orlov apparently had bought the diamond in order to ingratiate himself with Catherine the Great. He'd fallen out of her favor. So I suppose, not to put too fine a construction, he wished to get back both in her favor and into her bedroom.
Orlov obtained the diamond legally from a merchant in Amsterdam, but it had a past shrouded in mystery.